on ships. I like performing on land. Every now and then I get invited to a little town. They're not big enough to have a comedy club. They want me to do a show at their bar. Those are scary. Last one I did, I was driving up to the bar. They had put my name on the marquee. That's cute, because nobody's ever heard of me, but my name was misspelled. It said, tonight, Tommy Drag. I thought it was funny. I brought the manager outside. I said, hey, I just want you guys to know, you left the E off the end of my last name. He said, we needed that E for the word tonight. It's refreshing to be back in front of people that get that joke. They put me up at a Days Inn on that gig. I don't know if you've had the pleasure. The Days Inn, for the most part, is where people stay who are vacationing at the Super Walmart next door. I have the hotel room right next to the pool. That's noisy. I overheard an incident out by the pool, and I guess there were no eyewitnesses, because the cops came to my door to ask me what I heard. I had to tell them, this is what I heard. Marco, Polo, Marco, Polo, fish out of water, gunshot, splash. Marco. Try to piece it together, officer. Sometimes I have to perform at company parties. Those are no fun. Everybody's all uptight. They're all in a work environment. I try to price myself out of those shows. The last one I did was for the employees of Costco. Yeah. They only needed one show, but I made them buy 12 of them. I got that out for us. Good, you guys are a good comedy crowd. These aren't the jokes that I do in comedy clubs. These are the jokes that I do on cruise ships. If you guys want to see my comedy club act, tomorrow night, right here at 11:45, I will be doing an R-rated, adults-only comedy show, and that's just my club act, so you guys come back and check that out. Tonight is going to be a little bit different. Tonight is the variety show, which means I'm going to be doing a little bit of everything for you guys. This first trick is a dangerous one. I'm going to juggle for you people a 17-inch stainless steel, razor-sharp machete that was very difficult to smuggle on board. I'm going to juggle for you people a bowling ball. You will notice down front, it's a bowling ball with no holes in it. That's because I bought it from a guy with no fingers. Same guy that sold me this knife. That was a really cool garage sale. I got 2 pairs of pants with no zipper. Third thing I'm going to juggle for you people is an apple. Throughout the course of this trick, believe it or not, I'm going to try to eat one of these 3 things. I will let you, the audience, vote. Who wants to see me eat the knife? Okay, that's some of you. Who wants to see me eat the bowling ball? You can't vote twice unless you live in Florida. Who wants to see me eat the apple? Good, the apple wins. I think we all learned another lesson about voting there, didn't we, kids? I have to take off my wedding ring before I do this trick because it gets in the way of me hooking up later. I'm kidding, it helps. Alright, before I do this trick, kids, try this at home. That's where I learned it. There's knives in the kitchen. I'm going to be eating the apple, so I have to pull the microphone away from my mouth. So I'm going to be yelling. Here it comes. Bowling ball, apple, knife. The trick is not over yet. Now, eating the apple. Hang on, I'll get it. story will make sense. When I was a little kid, the first live entertainer I ever saw was a magician. I was 9 years old. I was at my friend Chris Campbell's Halloween party. I dressed up like a nerd that year. Nobody noticed. There was a really old magician on stage. This guy had to have been, I don't know, 36, 37. He was old. But he knew what he was doing. He said, I got 3 ropes that are exactly the same size. See? I said, no, old guy. Look at the ropes. They're obviously not the same size. He goes, well, it looks like they're the same size right now because of how I'm holding them. Here, I'll show you. He took the ends of the ropes, got them all lined up and even in his hand. After he got the ends of the ropes all lined up and even, he goes, look, now it looks like the ropes are the same size. I said, no, it still doesn't. There's a bunch of slack. He said, that's okay. I can fix that. He grabbed the ropes, stretched them out, made it look for a second like the ropes were the same size. Then he counted them out. Rope number 1, rope number 2, and rope number 3. This is the part I thought was cool. He actually swung around the loose ends, caught them, let the other ends fall out of his fingers. You know what I said at that point? I said, you have to let me see those ropes. He said, okay, there's rope number 1, rope number 2, and rope number 3. You know, to this day, I still have no idea how he did that trick. But one day, I'm going to learn it, and I'm going to put it in my show. That bowling ball apple knife trick, that's a spectacle. Now when I say spectacle, I mean people see that trick and they think to themselves, wow, that must be difficult. Truth is, ask any juggler. It's a pretty basic trick I just did there. It just looks way tougher than it is, making it a perfect trick to do during a show. Most juggling tricks, when you learn them, you perform them so smoothly that the audience isn't impressed. They are tougher than they look. You don't do them during a show. I have a different philosophy. I feel like I took the time to learn the trick. You're going to take the time to watch it. So I'm going to show you guys right now the 3 tricks that were the hardest for me to learn. First one's called a pirouette. I'm going to take one of these juggling clubs, throw it up into the air. While it's up there, I'm going to try to spin around, catch it, and keep juggling. Took over 6 months of practice to learn how to do this trick. Takes less than 2 seconds to perform. Here it comes. Third hardest trick I know. The pirouette. That was it. Thank you. Now I'm going to show you guys the second hardest trick I know. This trick's called back crosses. It's consecutive behind the back throws. You have to do at least 5 or 6 in a row to impress the staff on this ship. Took over a year of practice before I'd even try this trick during a show. Here it comes. Second hardest trick I know. Back crosses. That was it. Thank you. You can ask the people that work in this lounge. I just got lucky. They'll tell you I usually don't catch back crosses on the first try. Since I did, before I go any further, would you like to see me attempt the hardest trick I know? Yeah. Okay, this trick took me over 2 years to learn how to do. It's called the deadly chop. All right, here it comes. Hardest trick I know. 2 years. Deadly chop. Here it comes. There it was. That was it. I don't need your sarcastic sympathy applause. I spent 2 years of my life learning how to do that. What a huge waste of time. I don't think you fully understand. I could be speaking another language right now. No. But when you learn something, you want to put it in the show. In order to put it in the show, I had to add something to it. So now instead of just doing a deadly chop, not a crowd pleaser, I have a trick I call the karate chop. Watch and compare. First I'll show you the deadly chop one more time. See, nothing. Now the karate chop.